I was born and raised Damascus, Syria, and I've always been someone who's fascinated with Legos, with science, and at the time we didn't have the internet, so I used to wait for my father to walk in with his newspaper, and on the back, while he's reading the main headlines or reading inside the paper, I would be looking at the final page, at the last page, and usually they would have the science news, and it's like a small corner. There's like 50 words about each one, and I'm fascinated with that, and I love science fiction movies. And then what ended up happening is I had to choose between either going to art school or going to engineering school. I didn't have a computer, and my only hope of seeing one in real life at the time, it was the 90s, is to go to engineering school. So I chose engineering school, but I went and worked as a designer to pay myself to go to school. By the time I graduated, I already were exceptional as a designer, like getting businesses and getting gigs. And I started my first marketing consultancy. I had no idea how to do business. I remember to do sales. It was because I was an engineer. I was in Syria. There wasn't, like, the internet was not available for everyone. Only engineers and doctors. So I was lucky. So I downloaded my first sales book off the internet. Now, there are no, at the time in Syria or in the Arab world in general, there was no books about business in general. Most of the books were politics, poetry, literature, and I loved those. But when I wanted to learn about business and being the engineer, it's always like, where is the catalog? Everything I have to learn it. It's not like I'll go wing it. So I downloaded my first book of sales. I hope I remember what it is. I read it, and my first sale was going to the CEO of the biggest telco in Damascus and walking into the office and sitting and saying, I want to meet the CEO. I was like, who are you? And I walk in and I tell him, listen, I'm doing this contest and I want you to be the main sponsor. I had no idea what I was doing. And they said yes. And it was kind of like a Craigslist, but on that level, you're talking 1998. So I did like the Craigslist on a small level in Syria, and that was my first thing. And by 2002, I built my first tech company, which is a game. We built online games, and none of the people in the company knew how to build the games online. One of them wrote code for Flash. The other was an artist. The third liked to build website but had no clue what to do it. This is my team, and within 3 months we were acqui-hired by the Disney of the Middle East. So I was like, so what I learned, aside from early successes, is that go after whatever you want to build and learn through the process. You can never lose as long as you're passionate about something, as long as you're passionate about learning. If you're intent to just make money, which is nothing wrong with that,